What if the justice you've been waiting to see was never about watching them fall, but about watching yourself rise? If you've ever looked at someone who hurt you and wondered, how can they seem perfectly fine after everything they put me through? You're not alone. Sometimes life doesn't deliver justice in the dramatic way we imagine. There may be no public downfall, no perfect apology, and no moment where everyone suddenly understands what happened. But that doesn't mean consequences don't exist. When someone repeatedly chooses manipulation, dishonesty, control, or emotional harm, they also create a pattern that eventually affects their own life. They push away genuine connection. They lose trust. They repeat the same unhealthy cycles with different people. And no amount of attention, status, or appearance can replace authentic peace. That's why I want you to look at this differently. Maybe what you call God's revenge is actually God's redirection. You were not abandoned. You were being moved away from something that was draining your peace and toward a life where you could finally hear your own voice again. A person who constantly needs validation may keep searching for someone new to fill that emptiness. But changing the person beside them doesn't automatically change what is happening within them. Without self-awareness and genuine personal growth, the same patterns can follow them wherever they go. And this is where your story changes. You stop explaining yourself. You stop chasing closure from someone who may never give it. You stop waiting for them to admit what they did. You stop measuring your healing by whether they regret losing you. That is real freedom. When you create healthy distance, protect your boundaries, or choose no contact when appropriate, you are no longer giving someone else control over your emotional world. You are choosing peace over endless arguments and clarity over confusion. And yes, they may appear happy afterward. They may move on quickly. They may tell a completely different version of the story. Let them. You don't have to compete with a story you know isn't yours. Over time, patterns become visible. People notice inconsistencies. Relationships reveal their quality. And life has a way of showing us the difference between appearing successful and actually being at peace. But please don't make their downfall your destination. Your greatest victory is not watching them struggle. It's waking up one morning and realizing you didn't think about them all day. It's laughing again without feeling guilty. It's trusting your own judgment. It's setting boundaries without explaining them for an hour. It's discovering that the person they tried to convince you that you were was never the real you. Your kindness was not weakness. Your compassion was not foolishness. And surviving a difficult relationship does not mean you have to carry it into every new chapter. Maybe the lesson was never, how can I make them pay? Maybe it was, how do I make sure I never abandon myself again? That is where your power returns. You don't need revenge. You need restoration. You don't need them to suffer. You need yourself to heal. And if you believe in God, trust that justice does not require you to become consumed by anger. You can release what you cannot control and focus on becoming whole again. One day, you may look back and realize the ending you once considered heartbreaking was actually the beginning of your freedom. They may have expected you to remain broken. Instead, you rebuilt. They may have expected you to keep chasing. Instead, you walked away. They may have expected your light to disappear. Instead, you learned how to protect it. And maybe that is the most powerful form of justice of all. Not their pain, your peace. Not their regret, your freedom. Not their downfall, your rise. If this message spoke to something you've been through, take a moment to like the video, subscribe, and stay with us for the next one. Your healing journey deserves your attention now, not their behavior. And remember, this video is for general educational and reflective purposes. It isn't a diagnosis or a judgment of any individual. Take what helps, protect your peace, and seek qualified support when you need it. You don't have to look back anymore. Your life is waiting for you.